The National Weather Service confirmed 4 tornadoes in East Tennessee touched down Sunday. They hit in Cumberland County, Scott County, and Fentress County. Fortunately, no one was hurt in the storms, but they did leave people cleaning up the damage. You can see damage to a home and hotel in Cumberland County. Now, we talked to a hazard climatologist today who says the intensity of storms is changing, and we're seeing more tornadoes here in East Tennessee.
The centroid of tornado occurrences in the U.S. is shifting from the Great Plains into the Southeast. And so overall, we are seeing more tornadoes happen in the Southeast. And then the other thing about Southeast tornadoes is we usually have longer track tornadoes and often stronger ones as well.
That climatologist has spent the last decade studying tornadoes in Tennessee, focusing on those that occur at night, which commonly happens in East Tennessee.
In the Southeast, we have the environmental conditions that favor long track tornadoes. And so they'll stay on the ground for a really long period, and they're more likely to cross path with lots of different populations. So people are more likely to be impacted by these strong tornadoes in the Southeast that stay on the ground for a long time.
She goes on to say the good news is we are entering our downtime of tornado season, which is typically June, July, and August. And with that, we want to turn to Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell. And Todd, let's talk a little more about tornadoes that we saw this past weekend.
Yeah, we'll kind of go back and revisit that. And for clarification, again, the comments there were for the Southeast, longer and stronger, not necessarily Tennessee specifically as far as that contrast. Now, more nighttime tornadoes, a lot of times we do see that in East Tennessee because it typically occurs late in the day into the evening hours. And beforehand, a lot of times they're in West and Middle Tennessee. That's where most tornadoes occur in the state of Tennessee, West and Middle Tennessee, where it's flatter. And in East Tennessee, most occur on the Cumberland Plateau. All right, so here's a look at the 2 that were occurring in Fentress County near Jamestown and Allard. That had winds of 110 miles per hour. Also, just to the north-northeast of Clark Range. Again, both of those in Fentress County. Here's the one in Scott County, an EF1 tornado, 95 mile per hour winds, 200 yards wide. And here's the one in Cumberland County, again, just north of Crossville. And interesting enough, a house significantly damaged. It was totally moved off its foundation. And that had winds of 95 miles per hour. So that's kind of a recap of those storms that occurred on Sunday. Robin, let's go back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you. And thank you for watching 10 News at 5. 10 News at 6 is coming up next.